This is part 2 of helpful ways to heal your identity. Last week we talked about Dr. Jeffrey Rediger, and he wrote this amazing book called Cured, and I love this book. I recommend it, I share it, I read it, and I reread it. Now sadly for Dr. Rediger, he had a very trying and abusive childhood, but he, once he left home, went about the work of really remaking his identity from the soul level outward. So he calls this work healing at the soul level. So he did this for himself by doing 4 really critical and amazing things. Last time we covered 2 of them. The first of them being that to really embrace, really install, really integrate into your identity that you are first and foremost a manifestation of divinity. You are part of that divine evolutionary intelligence that imagined us and brought us into being, and that sustains us in every moment of our lives, literally with every breath and with every heartbeat. So know that as the truest truth about you. And then secondly, he says it's really important in remaking your identity to renegotiate your relationship with stress, moving things from being seen as a threat to our well-being to being a challenge for us. So he talks about this in terms of changing what we perceive as threats to our lives into mere challenges. Instead of threats to us, they are just challenges for us. And sometimes it's helpful to make a list of challenges you've already met with your finances, in your relationships, with your health, and then to really know, hey, I've covered tough stuff before. I have managed difficult situations in my life before, and I can do it again. So let's look at the third point he makes in being able to heal ourselves, body, mind, and soul. And it is to really change our brains. He calls it trying new experiences. And this can quite literally be anything. I like to try to clean my house left-handed, even though I'm right-handed. On walks, instead of taking my tried and true path, I go explore new ones, but this can just be anything. You can dance at home. Do things to music at home. You can try Reiki, Tai Chi, Qigong. You can do breath work, prayer work, join new groups. One really powerful thing I've seen people help change their lives is to take classes here at Mile High Church, shameless plug. But in the healing ministry here, we did a class last year, and part of it involved learning laughter yoga. And a very special woman came in and taught us laughter yoga. And she made the point that it's not enough to just go, ha, one time and think that you've changed yourself at the core level. She encouraged us to find something to laugh about for 3 minutes every day and just keep doing it. Because what it literally does, since your body is always eavesdropping on your mind, is that it tells your body, we're getting out of our old rut. We're taking our mind out of those old pathways and going to some new territory. And this new territory involves more fun and more joy and more laughter. Now, this wonderful woman's name is Alice, and she did move away last year from Denver to a place back east. But she still joins us almost every Wednesday night in the healing support group. And so, unfortunately, she took a terrible fall while staying at a family member's vacation place. She missed the last step of some cement stairs and fell, barely breaking her fall with her hands. So she showed up on Wednesday night with a cut going from her mouth down to her chin. The side of her face was scraped. Her whole left side was scraped. And we said, Alice, what happened to you? And she said, I fell. I landed pretty much face first. And we said, how terrible. And she said, it could have been worse. I didn't hit my head. I don't have a concussion. And my body knows how to heal. So I don't know about you, but I think her work with laughter yoga helped her establish and use that belief to tell her body, get ready, healing's coming, you know how to do this. And indeed, our bodies do know how to heal. The fourth and final thing that Dr. Rediger suggests to us if we want to remake or improve our identities is to be the captain of our own lives, to be the CEO of our journeys, and certainly the CEO of our spiritual journey, to be the captain of our ships and to take them in the directions that we want to go. In essence, he says to write your own prognosis for any diagnosis that you get. So, you know, I did this starting 10, almost 11 years ago when Western doctors pronounced that I had developed an inoperable, incurable, advanced, metastatic, stage 4 type of cancer, and that my chances at longevity were about 95% against my living even 5 years. Well, I thought to myself, this cannot be right. I think they have the wrong person in the wrong chart. But they didn't. The diagnosis was true, but I wrote my own prognosis. So my suggestion is that you take your prescription pad, aka sticky notes, and write your own prognosis on there. Mine started with a sign that said, I will be a 5-year survivor, that every cell in my body is vibrating at the frequency of health and wholeness. And I repeated that mantra and several others all the time, day and night. And I lived 5 years. And then I thought, hey, why not 10? Now that I've lived 10, I have a new diagnosis for myself that I'll be a 15-year or more survivor. So, in summary, there are these 4 important things that Dr. Rediger says that we can do to help up-level and improve and even remake our identities. And they simply are to embrace the truth of ourselves that we are indeed made out of star stuff. What we take in a multivitamin, which is like calcium and zinc and iron, those are the same things that the stars and other planets are made of. We are truly made of divine stuff. And then secondly, to renegotiate our relationship with stress, lower it in any way we can by changing threats to us into challenges for us. And then thirdly, try some new things. Dr. Joe Dispenza says that the neurons that wire together, fire together. Well, I know I need new wiring at many points in my life. So I try new things. I grow new brain cells. And then lastly, to be the author of your own life, the captain of your own ship. That's all I've got.
As I take a deep breath, I breathe in the light of God. And that light is all around, all in, through, and about us. We think, we dream, we know, we walk and dance. All of this is God's expression of us and how we know that God loves. And He loves all the same. And I am part of that oneness. I'm part of that love of the divine givingness that God is. I am. And I know that all the gifts that we receive in our life are God's gifts. And those gifts include hearing and seeing, walking, dancing, and thinking. These gifts that we use every day, we don't always think about, but God has given some no hearing, no sight, but they are still perfect. All disabilities for all people are God's expression, unique expression of them. through life, through love. And I'm so grateful to know that these gifts, this love is always from God and with us. And I release this prayer knowing that as the wind blows the leaves through the trees, my prayer goes in the wind, is manifest and flows, and so it is.